Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, David.
Morning, and welcome to our open day and associate trading forum. How was the open day? Open day was good.
Very good.
Very good, very informative, and it's one of the best way for any new guest or any existing associate to get to know the USANA company a bit better. So, at today's training, and do you know the topic of the training today? Reset. Yeah, probably you might. I think you won't miss it when you walk into the facility here and you see a big media wall and always a reset promotions, right? So recently, and the company is running, and we're having two very special reset promotions. So later on, after I finish my presentation today, I'm going to talk about the two reset promotions. So the first thing, let's focus on the reset. What is reset? Can anyone give me a brief description of reset, the USANA reset program? What is our reset program? Okay, kind of through this program and get to the original version of yourself, right? Okay, so reset actually is a meal replacement drink. It's a meal replacement drink based and weight management program. It's very flexible. It could be only 5-day jumpstart. It could be only 5 days. It could be just a 5-day program, or it could be like the full reset program probably lasts about 18 weeks or beyond. So the first stage is always the 5-day for the jumpstart and for the detoxification, and then the transformation stage and normally lasts about 4 to 8 weeks. Normally lasts about 4 to 8 weeks. So for today's training, the clicker doesn't work. Give me 1 second. Screen's first. Give me 1 second. Try again. Okay. So here are the main objectives of today's training. So the first is we need to understand why everyone needs to maintain your normal weight range. The second objective is I'm gonna give you some overview about some common weight loss programs. What's the basic principles between different weight loss approaches? So the third objective is why USANA reset. Why USANA reset is your optimal and ideal solution. So the fourth objective today is to give you more details about how to leverage reset program to grow your business, to develop your team. Okay, why weight management? Okay, let's do a quiz. Let's do a test. So I'm gonna show you 3 different body types. Can you tell me which figure is the normal weight range, which one is overweight, and which body figure is obese? Okay, first one. This is obesity or being overweight. Which one? Guess. Overweight. Okay. Any different answers? So this image here, you reckon this body figure is overweight or obese? Most people say overweight. Okay, let's look at the second one. How about this one? Normal, right? Okay, let's look at the third one. Underweight. Okay, the 3 images I extracted from a health rate website. So the first one actually is obese. The second one is overweight. And then the third one is within the normal range. Come. So my next question is, how do you define and what kind of category you are in or you're guessing? Which category? Obesity, being overweight, or being in the normal weight range? So BMI, how do you define them? If you are prospecting someone or if you talk to some health professional, how do they define you? You're one of the One of the three categories. How do they define you? Height. Yes. This. So we call the BMI, body mass index. So how to calculate this BMI is your weight with the kilogram as the unit divided by the square of your height. So for example, so if the score you got is over 30, which means you're obese, right? If the score you got is between 25 to 29.9, so basically you're overweight. And but for the normal range, it should be below 25. Should be below 25. So just want to give you a very brief introduction for today's training. Somehow this is the way they calculate. Power of 2. Wow, very good. I think this is how the scientists or how the clinician, the way they do. Dr. Catherine, you must be very familiar with BMI, right? Yes. Yeah. So the lady right behind you is asking why divide the weight twice.
Actually, this is the formula should be weight divided the height in meters. It is square it. So that's why you divide it twice. That's just the formula. The formula is designed in this way. You don't change.
Yeah. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. Yeah. So for example, just on y. So for example, on the y 1 kilometers equals to 1,000 grams. It's like that. It's just the way it is. Yeah. Yes. Okay. I tried. Give it a go.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Is that better? That's probably better. Okay. Okay. According to World Health Organization, so here's the percentage of the current situation. About 25% of people are obese. And over 50% of people are either overweight or obese. That's pretty scary, right? That's very, very. So why it is so important to maintain your weight range? Why it is so important? Because if you're overweight or if you're obese, normally it comes with quite a few different complications. So my question to you guys is there any medical complications in relation to being overweight or being obese? Can you just give me some examples? Diabetes, that's very good. Yeah. Heart condition, yeah. Any joint condition, that's right. Just give me one more. High blood pressure, that's right. Okay. So for example, the first one I want to talk about is metabolic syndrome. The first one later on. So first one I'm going to talk about metabolic syndrome. This is one of the most common obesity complications, and also we just mentioned diabetes and cardiovascular disease process, for example, for your joint condition. Okay, what is metabolic syndrome? So metabolic syndrome was proposed by leading endocrinologist Dr. Gerard Rewen. So give me 1 second. So it used to call it syndrome X. So and then a few years ago, probably 10 or probably 1 or 2 decades ago, and the World Health Organization officially named this syndrome as metabolic syndrome. So what is metabolic syndrome? So basically, you have the 3 out of these 5 following medical conditions. You will be diagnosed with metabolic syndrome, and you have some central obesity, abdominal fat, and high blood pressure, or high blood sugar, or high triglycerides, or low high density lipoprotein levels. If you meet 3 or more, and you are having metabolic syndrome, but for many people, you might didn't notice even before you have been diagnosed with metabolic syndrome. You might just have one or two conditions, but over time, you find if you don't reverse your lifestyle, if you don't reverse or if you don't optimize your lifestyle, you tend to develop more and more, and your condition get more and more severe. So, why the metabolic syndrome is very important? Why lots of doctors are talking about metabolic syndrome? One of the reasons is associated with the risk of developing two major diseases. The first one, developing two major health concerns. The first one is some kinds of cardiovascular diseases. The second one is metabolic syndrome, is your predictor of developing type 2 diabetes. Does that make sense? Yeah. So they are very good, they are not, I shouldn't say they're very good, they are very accurate predictor for the two conditions. The first one is, the second one is your type 2 diabetes. So now we just had a touch base on metabolic syndrome. Let's talk about diabetes. So according to an official report from World Health Organization, so back to 1980, there was only, there was slightly over 100 million people who having diabetic conditions. But this figure has been increased over 4 times in the last probably around 35 years. So according to official data and from World Health Organization, in 2014, that's the latest official number I can get. So globally, there are over 422 million people having these diabetic conditions. Again, it's very, very scary. Right? But so what's the basic syndrome, a symptom of diabetes? When it comes to your mind first when we talk about diabetes symptoms? Yeah. And how do we diagnose it? Sugar, your blood sugar, right? But the most scary part, actually, I personally find there's some hidden effects behind the diabetes. It's because diabetes, most of people, 70% of people, 70%. So diabetes related death, 70% of them caused by the cardiovascular disease. So for any diabetic patients, you need to be very, very careful about your heart conditions. Yeah. Not just your eye condition, not just your limbs, but a cardiovascular condition probably is the most scary part. And actually, the total number of deaths caused by diabetes and high glucose-related conditions, actually, the number is total deaths of 8 cancer combined. So, what's the best way? What's the proven, the clinical way to prevent the diabetes? So here's the formula. Which is within 6 months or 12 months time, you should set up your goal to lose 70% of your initial weight. You don't have to lose, sometimes when it comes to weight loss, sometimes we tend to be very aggressive and unrealistic. But even you could just 7% of your initial weight, you will get lots of health benefits by doing that. And another way to exercise 150 minutes. 150 minutes, I think, is per week. Yes, per week. So it's about 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. It's not, but the reality is, so we have about 50 people in the audience today. How many people can guarantee yourself you can exercise at least 30 minutes a day here? Put your hands up. I can't do it. Only 10% of people here, between 10 to 20% of people. Yeah, because we're kind of just getting very busy. So according to American Diabetes Association, so if you could just lose your if you could just before even pre-diabetic condition, before you're being diagnosed with diabetes, if you could lose 7% of your initial weight and you do exercise over the long term, So prevent you can. Diabetes. So 90% of the time you're getting diabetes is because of your lifestyle. It's not because of your gene. It's because of your lifestyle. Make sense? Okay. So so the third obesity related or overweight related complication is hyperlipidemia, which means you have a very high level. You have elevated blood strain. I'm not sure an image is scary. Yeah. So this is they're like the fatty diet for 4 hours, and you see the lipids has been separated. The right level. Sometimes, if you have a high level of fat in your blood, and that's the one of it. So that's one of the warning signs. But most importantly is if your body have enough antioxidants. So if you could prevent your fat being oxidized in your bloodstream, which could like maybe it could be just beneficial to your health. But the most scary part is on the one hand, if you have a very high level of lipids of fat in your bloodstream, on the other hand, you don't have enough antioxidant to fight with these free radicals, so they just accumulate in that way. And so the last one I want to talk about the medical complications is osteoarthritis. So this is kind of like a degenerative and joint condition. So one of us you can imagine, and if your weight-bearing joint is holding too much weight, and while you're working or while you're running, so the cartilage and will be worn out quickly. So I think 60. If you could one figure I remember I read in the past is in terms of prevention of some like a degenerative joint conditions. If you could maintain within the normal weight range, you tend to reduce the risk of having like a degenerative joint condition for about 60%. So next I'm going to talk about the three most common weight loss programs which people most of us come across in your life. So the first one is called a dietary program. The second one is some people try to achieve the weight loss by doing extensive exercise. And people they might try to find a shortcut. So here I mean taking some OTC supplements to weight loss. So I'm going to tell you some basic information about these three different approaches. So the first one is dietary program. So the typical dietary program for weight management is you try to restrict your total calorie intake, and while you add up some exercise and increase your total energy expenditure. So there are two very popular diet programs. The first one is called a low-calorie diet, and the second one is called a low-carb diet. So any difference between these two? Yeah. So the first one, let's look at the low-calorie diet. So the obesity for obese people. So what you try to do is you restrict your total calorie. You try to reduce at least 500 to 1,000 calories per day. So what's the average calorie per day? What's the average person need? It depends on the unit. Yeah. So if you're obese, you try to cut down your calorie for at least 500 to 500 to 1,000 over the 6 months time, and then you can tend to lose weight about 7% between 3 to 10 months time. You tend to lose weight for about 7%. If you're not obese but you're overweight, so try to at least cut 300 to 500 calories a day. Does that make sense? Yeah. So to give you a concrete idea and what does 500 calorie mean? So a burger like this, it contains nearly about 400 calories. A burger like I'm not including like the chips or the soft drink, just the burger alone. Yeah. So there's another extreme example for the low calorie diet. So some people use a very low calorie diet. It's only about 800 calories a day, and but according to some clinicians, they would not recommend this approach because it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable and it might increase other complications. Am I correct, doctor? Yes, you are. But so from the publication I read in the past and in general, and they would not recommend people to use very low calorie diet over the long term. Okay, the second one actually they are pretty popular. I personally find even there are some books and there's some commercial programs about the low carbs diet. So they try to cut down your total carbs from your daily diet. So for example, they try to only consume 50 to 100 gram carbohydrates per day. So carbohydrates should represent roughly between 50 to 60% of your daily diet. But they try to limit the total carbs to only between 50 to 100 grams. So, but you can still consume, for example, meat, ribs, steaks, fish, all kinds of proteins, and even some healthy fat. They try to cut down because so the theory behind this low carb diet is because our body utilize carbs as the primary energy source. So when the carb is limited, so our body tends to burn the fat. Does that make sense? Yeah. So and okay, what do you think about the low carb diet? Anyone tried the low carb diet in the past? Yeah. What do you think about it? Amy? Yeah. Yeah. You have to for short time. Yeah. I know some people they're trying to do low carb diet like over 6 months or kind of like totally change their like lifestyle. And what do you think? The expert's opinion here, Dr. Catherine. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. From my personal observation, because I have some people like in my friend circle, and they're doing this. And what I found, and also from some academic publication, and within the 3 months time, you find it's very, very effective. It's very, very effective. But the concern is sometimes people cannot do that over the long term, which so after 2 months or 3 months low carb diet, they try to just get back to their normal diet. So here is a reference which I found from the Health and Human Service Department from I think they call it U.S. Department of Agriculture and Health and Human Service from the U.S. government. So they have two statements here. So they reckon when your total calorie intake is controlled, macronutrient proportion is not related to losing weight. Does that make sense? So let me try to make it more clear for everyone. So if you compare to low carb diet, so maybe the total calorie intake is the same. On the one hand, they tend to limit their carb intake, but on the other hand, they tend to eat more fatty, for example, nuts, maybe like omega-3. maybe they tend to eat more proteins or meat, but the total calorie intake is the same. But according to the Department of Agriculture, Health and Human Service from the U.S. government, is that when the total calorie intake is controlled, so they reckon nutrient proportion is not related to losing weight, and it may be effective in the short term, but it's not sustainable over the long term, and might increase other risks. Make sense? Yeah. So, and the second popular way to achieve the goal of losing weight, of course, is physical activity, right? Is physical activity effective in terms of weight loss? Answer is yes, but it has to be long term, right? Has to be long term. Yeah. So it requires quite intensive exercise within a certain period or over the middle term or to long term to reach weight loss. So calorie restriction is more effective for fast, rapid weight loss. For example, the summer is approaching. If you try to lose the weight as quickly as possible, so you need to combine with physical exercise plus weight loss, like restricting your total calorie. And exercise, so later I'm going to explain exercise is so important for everyone to include as a part of your weight management program. Any commercial or like any weight management program without exercise is not a complete program. So exercise actually it works better for abdominal fat, yeah. Case by case actually. So OTC, what do you think? So if I go to Woolworths, if I go to a pharmacist nearby, I tend to find some like they call it appetite control. They call it sometimes the product name is just called weight management supplements. Do they work? Do they work? So one of my key messages from today's training is, so when it comes to weight loss, when it comes to weight management, and from the research I did in the past, is there's no shortcut, there's no magic bullet, there's no shortcut, there's no magic. It's all about you need to change your lifestyle in terms of your diet, in terms of your sleep, in terms of your exercise, and you cannot achieve weight loss within 6 months or 3 months. It has to be the long term, like weight and lifestyle change. So some basic mechanism and of how this like OTC supplements work. So for example, some supplements and they tend to increase your energy expenditure, and some they try to control your appetite. Even you're hungry, you're supposed to be hungry after taking these pills. And for some reason, they change the hormone or something, leptin, all these kind of things. You find you don't feel hungry anymore. And sometimes they increase the fat and oxidation. The worst part, and one of the worst scenario is when after you're taking some weight loss supplements or pills, you tend to go to the toilet very often, and you're having some diarrhea, and you tend to lose lots of water from your body. And then when you weigh in yourself, you find out, great, fantastic result, because I'm losing 3 kilos. But 3 kilos could be 2 kilos. Could be 2 kilos comes from the water. Should we lose the water from our body? No, and it also is very, very dangerous, right? It's all very. One person there, according to a study from the US, from US markets, that there are more than 125 weight loss related supplements products in the marketplace. And over 15% of Americans use weight loss supplements, and 20% of them they are women. Okay, so for the OTC weight loss supplements, there are some side effects. Majority of them target multiple metabolic pathways. So as you may understand, our metabolic pathway are very, very complicated. So probably 10,000 times more complicated than our like safety train map. I'm talking about 10,000 times more complicated. Yeah, our safety train map. Yeah. So sometimes it will increase the risk of some adverse events, and it might increase risk of develop some neurological and GI and cardiovascular conditions. So that's the reason why. And personally, I'm not quite sure about the GPs in here. They recommend some weight loss supplements, or we don't. Maybe not. Would you do it or not? Yeah, really. Depends on the situation. Yeah. So here is some like a guidance, and here is some safe and healthy weight management guidance. The first, set up a realistic goal. Yeah. Don't tend to go a little too far. Some people say, okay, I want to like within 30 days, I want to like lose 20 kilos. In many cases, this is not very healthy and it's not sustainable. So realistically, and in terms of between 3 months to 10 months time, let's set up the realistic goals. Lose 7% of your initial weight, and the second is whatever your dietary program you're using, and always combine with exercise, physical exercise. Even 30 minutes working out meal is good. Yeah, and 5 days a week, 5 to 7 days a week, and at least 30 minutes. And also, so one of the key. So let me ask you one question. When we try to lose weight, and we need to reduce one of the intake. So which one? The calorie, right? If you try to lose weight, so the traditional notion is you need to reduce your total calorie. So then you should try to restrict your carbohydrates, protein, or fat. Which one? Which macronutrients? It doesn't matter actually. It doesn't matter because whether or not you're trying to lose weight, whether or not you have any specific medical conditions, your daily nutrition needs are pretty much the same. Sometimes you might need more protein, sometimes you might need more vitamins and minerals. So lots of commercial weight loss program, they tend to forget about our body's needs towards the micronutrients during your weight loss program. They focus too much on how much carbs you're having, how much proteins you're consuming, but they forgot the micronutrient part. Does that make sense? Yeah, they focus on too much on carbs, they focus on too much on calories. But even when you're joining a commercial weight loss program, you still need all the macronutrients and the micronutrients. So here's the reset. So the USANA Reset Child program is very unique. It's a very healthy weight loss program. So there are 3 pillars of reset. So the first one is about the low GI, low glycemic index meals like Nutri-Meal. The second one is at reset. If you're doing reset program, and we strongly recommend you to do the exercise at least 30 minutes a day, between 5 to 7 days a week. Yeah. But do you know why we needed to do the exercise during your like weight loss program? Anyone know the reason? Since there are quite a few different reasons, but the top 2 reasons. The first thing is because while you're dieting, you tend to lose your lean tissue of your muscle. So you need to do the exercise and then to help you to maintain your muscle tissue. And the second part is our body will have different type of cells and tissues. So think about it. Which type of tissues or cells they tend to burn more calories? Your fat tissue or your muscle tissue? Muscle tissue, right? So your muscle tissue is probably one of the most active. Your muscles, so muscle cells and muscle tissues, they are probably one of the most active tissue or cells of our body. So you try to keep them busy, try to keep them active during your weight management program. Does it make sense? Yeah. Okay. So and then the third pillar is the high quality of supplements, because you try on the one. If your goal is try to restrict your total calorie, you tend to eat less, right? Just in generally speaking, you tend to eat less. But even during your weight loss program, but do you think you should try to cut down your vitamins or minerals? You shouldn't. Even you try to weight loss in the next 3 months or 10 months, should you try to cut down your vitamins or minerals? The answer is no. Your body still needs a sufficient amount of vitamins and minerals to maintain your normal metabolism. So here are the 3 pillars of reset: low GI low GI products, and the physical exercise, and high quality cellular nutrition supplements. So what is GI? What is GI? So here is, so I'm going to show you 2 diagrams here, and how does high GI work and how does low GI work. So this one is the high glycemic index. So for example, if I'm having a bagel in the morning as my breakfast, so this at this time point, I'm taking, so this kind of, how do you call this color? Green? Not green. Okay, so this is the optimal blood sugar range. Above is high blood sugar level, and below is low blood sugar level. So when your blood sugar curve and goes underneath this line, and you tend to feel a bit hungry or even just dizzy because you don't have enough energy. But this is we try our best to maintain our blood sugar level within this range. So if I take a high glycemic, even the total amount of sugar or total amount of carbohydrates remain the same. For example, 50 grams or 100 grams is the same. Talking about the total amount is the same. But if the type of the food, the type of breakfast you're having there are high glycemic, it has high glycemic index. So here's your blood sugar gonna look like. When you finish your high GI food, your blood sugar gonna spike up. You're gonna spike up in your bloodstream, and then you're gonna just jump down to the bottom very, very quickly. And then where you tend to want to have some like hot chocolate or some like other muffins and for the middle morning snacks. Does that make sense? Yeah. Did anyone notice if you really a high fiber food as your breakfast, you try to reduce your hunger for the whole morning? Did anyone really pay attention to your body's signal? Yeah. So this is low GI food. Even like I mentioned before, the total amount of carbohydrates is the same. For example, 100 grams, the total amount of carbohydrates is the same. But if you're having low GI food, you see your blood sugar level is well managed within this range. Yeah. But why it's important? Why it is so important to maintain your blood sugar level within this range? What's the big deal if your blood sugar level spikes and then drops? What's the big deal behind it? Okay, more than that, something more than that. Not just you feel hungry. They have some health concerns. Okay, for example, when your blood sugar level is going up, so then your body tend to generate more hormone, sugar-related hormone called insulin, right? Is that normal? Yeah, because your body try to process all these blood sugars because they need to open the door, they need to open the cellular channel, so all the sugar molecules can be transferred into the inside of your cells to be utilized. So when your blood sugar level is high, and then the next thing that happen is that your level of insulin level is high. Your insulin level is high. Then the big deal behind it is when your insulin level is high, it's gonna change lots of your metabolic pathways, your hormone, your metabolism. In general, when your insulin level is high and your fat synthesis, you tend to store more fat in your body, and your fat is going down. Why your fat metabolism is going down when your insulin level is going up? Okay, so our body actually is very smart. They send all kinds of signals to our brain. So when there's enough blood sugar molecules in our bloodstream, signal we receive, right? there are enough energy, right? Does that make sense? So the signal received by our brain is there are enough energy, there's enough blood sugar, there are enough sugar molecules in our body now, and the insulin and the cells are going to work together to create more energy very soon. So then the next signal is we don't need to burn the fat. We need to stock them up. Make sense? Yeah. So when your fat storage is going up, your fat metabolism rate is going down. So then you tend to have more fat in our body. And all this extra fat goes to your liver, goes to your blood lipid, that even in your blood cells. And so if there are too much, so when they receive the signals, so the muscle cells and so they are reduced insulin and because insulin sensitivity, and also increased central obesity. So the benefits of low GI diet is so the first is it reduced hungers and provide sustained reduced hungers, and also help you to control weight, and also increase your body's sensitivity to insulin, and reduce and also can so low GI food and sometimes can reduce blood pressure as well. USANA, so in the marketplace, there are very few companies meal replacement drink with low GI certification. Not many. A few years ago, and we used to claim we are the only meal replacement drink and with low GI certified. We used to, but now they might have a few companies they're having this low GI certification as well. But do you know who is the official organization in Australia here who authorized your GI test? University of Sydney. Yeah. So University of Sydney. If you go to the University of Sydney's website and you go to the search box, type in GI glycemic index, they're gonna direct you to one of their departments. I can't remember the full name. I think Department of Biomedical and Human Nutrition or something. They have a very specific website, so they kind of give you hundreds and thousands of GI figures to all kinds of foods. So here, just want to give you some examples. So, for example, the first one, and sliced apples, cans, and without juice, the glycemic depth. So GI figures is about 42. So apple juice here. So apple juice, GI figure is about 37. Orange juice, so the orange juice, the GI figure is about 46. So some pasta. So for example, some pasta's GI figure is about between 45 to 60. Between 45 to 60. So are they low GI or they're high GI food? So here is the answer. If the GI number is equal, if the GI number equals to or below 55, and they are low GI food. And if the GI number is higher than 70, or they are high GI food. So lower the better. So what's the GI number for the Nutri-Meal? So before today's presentation, do you really know the GI numbers of this Nutri-Meal? Yeah, about 25 to 28, about 25 to 28. Yeah. So Nutri-Meal is a meal replacement drink. Okay, today I forgot to include one of the statements from American Association. There's one statement I used that. So when I did my research a few years ago, it's very interesting. It said replacement drink is effective in terms of response, but it has to be used over the long term. Yeah. That's one of the statements they put in. So what's the benefits? So what's the features of USANA's Nutri-Meal? And so the good things about it is like all the Nutri-Meals are well defined. So you don't have to do the counts. Do you come across some of your friends and they are very cautious about what they're having, and when they're doing some they're doing some extreme program, tend to calculate how much chicken breast they eat per day and how much grams of their vegetables, fruits. Yeah. So you don't have to do the counts. And if you're just if you're on board with the reset program of NutriMeals. So the first thing is all the nutrients in USANA's NutriMeals, they are well defined already. So the whole program is easy to follow and it's low cost. And actually, so later on, I'm going to try to inspire you actually, whoever join the reset program, and you might end up receiving some money. So take 5-day jumpstart as an example. How much is our? So during the promotion time, day jumpstart, $98, but for 5 days. So which means about $20 per day, but to replace your breakfast, your lunch, and your dinner. Take myself or Alex as an example. If we drink NutriMeals for three NutriMeals a day, actually it can help us to save some money. Yeah, because if we go to, so for example, like this morning, a coffee plus a muffin cost me about $10. And if I go to a food court with any meals, could be between $10 to $15. Yeah, but for 3 meals only cost you $10. And it's also the case for 28 days. So Alex did a trading last week, kind of inspire everyone. And so it's going to be great fun if we do the reset challenge together as a social group. Because many people might find it's not just leading to a healthy, it's not just leading to a healthy journey, but then also you might get some, and also to create some like positive cash flow. Yeah, and it's safe, effective weight management strategy as well. And like I said, a few years ago, I got, I think and a few years ago, we used to claim at USANA we're the only we're the only meal replacement drink with low GI certified. But in the last 3 years, maybe other companies already acquired this low GI certification as well. But not many yet. So I want to give you another. So when you're going to a supermarket, when you go to so when you look at all kinds of food, if they put a low GI, but not this logo here, they're not being certified. So you might see some biscuits, even chocolate biscuit, they put a low GI, but without this logo, which means their low GI is not being certified. Makes sense? Yeah. Okay. So according to NHMRC, so this is our recommended intake for the adults. So our carbs should represent about 45 to 65% of our daily diet, and for protein we need at least 10 to 30% proteins from our meals per day. So this is the reset proportion in terms of protein, carbs, and fats. You see, like I mentioned before, so all these like macronutrients are well defined and they are well balanced, and also they're also being certified with essential vitamins and minerals. And so in terms of theory, and it works, but here's the clinical research, and we did back to 2009. This is a collaboration between USANA Health Sciences and the University of Colorado. So the paper was published, I can't remember, so the paper was being published on obesity and weight management. So they were using reset NutriMeal, and they recruit a few patients. So it was 12 weeks. It was a 12 weeks program. So as you can tell from here, so the baseline, so this is the weight, and this is the percentage of weight loss, and this is your waist, and this is your waist. So after 6 months and after 12 months, so the average weight before I was about 222, about 222. And so after 6 months, and people tend to lose about 4% of their weight, and after 12 months, it's over 4% of their initial weight. Makes sense? Yeah. So, and another reason why, and we call it reset, after you finish 4 weeks or 8 weeks or 12 weeks of reset program, it's not just about how much weight you lose, is also about resetting your body and lead to a healthier journey. So while we did this clinical trial, we also look at some like healthy indicator of your blood. So we look at the triglyceride level and some unhealthy, some bad cholesterol level. So after 6 months, as you can see, and nearly about 18%, so you lose. So your total triglyceride has been reduced for nearly about 18%, and for the bad cholesterol level, actually, is nearly about 10% after 6 weeks of reset challenge. And to summarize, and some benefits of reset program, and the first thing to remember is always, so if you're really set up a goal for the Christmas season or for your New Year resolution, the goal needs to be realistic. We wouldn't. If I talk to Sheila or any clinician, they would never recommend just going too far in terms of weight loss within a certain period. Yeah, and set up a realistic goal. So what was the goal we were talking about? What's the goal? Realistic goal, 7%, and between 3 to 10 months. And don't stop yourself. If you join reset program, if you really feel hungry, and don't stop yourself. Feel free to eat some vegetables and steam or fresh. It doesn't matter. Yeah, and remember the 3 pillars of reset. What are the 3 pillars of reset? Low GI, exercise, and high quality nutrition, high quality supplements. Yeah, and the whole reset program. The USANA Nutrition has been around probably, I don't know, for over 10 years, maybe or even 15 years. Yeah, over 10 years, and it's proven. It's been proven that it's feasible and also it's flexible. So recently, I'm starting from this week, right? Starting from this week, Monday actually, from Monday or last Saturday, and now the company we are running 2 promotions of reset. We're running 2 reset promotions. The first one is the 5-day jumpstart. The first one is the 5-day jumpstart promotion. We're promoting what? We're promoting 5-day jumpstart, and you will get 1 free blend bottle. You will get 1 free blend bottle because for this 5-day, so you're gonna use 3. So you're gonna take 3 nutrients to replace all your 3 meals a day from your breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 5 days. For 5 days, kind of, it's not just to reset your body, and also it's a part of detoxification. And promotion 2 is for the 28 days reset program, and for unlimited time only. And this promotion is about saving time. The first one is about offering a free bottle. The second one is about save your money for $55. For $55 for the 28 jumpstart, how many nutrient meals you need to take per day? How many? 2. Yeah. No, for 5-day jumpstart, you need to take 3 nutrient meals a day to replace all your solid meals for that 5 day. But for the second stage, we used to call it transformation stage for about 4 weeks or to 8 weeks. Okay, I'm not sure. I'm confusing some of you. Yeah. For 28 days, you need 2 nutrient meals to replace 2 of your solid meals. It could be breakfast, lunch, or could be breakfast or dinner. But we used to recommend to use 2 nutrient meals to replace your breakfast and lunch, and while you can have a normal dinner, but we recommend you to have a low GI dinner during this 28 days, during this 4 weeks time. Am I confusing you, or I made myself clear already? Okay. And the second promotion is about saving $55. This is a big saving. And remember, if you look at promotion 2, and for 2 weeks, for 28 days for per day only cost you about $10, right? Only cost you about $10, and you use $10. So you pretty much only spend $10 on your breakfast and lunch. Yeah. Now we can't split. We can't split. Only chocolate. Yes. Can I make some? Yeah. So for the 28 days promotion, the total price after saving, after discount is only $280 for 28 days. So you only spend $10 per day on 2 meals. Make sense? Yeah. Okay. So here are some daily routines. So breakfast, and here are some examples. So for example, and for your morning snack, for your mid-morning snacks, and what you can have. So for example, you can have some high-quality proteins. You can have 2 boiled eggs, or you can have some yogurt, or you can have some like almonds with some healthy fat. And for the afternoon snack, it's the same. You can either have some like a yogurt, or you can have some chicken breast, or you can maybe some like fresh fruits. So one of the key things here, okay, you start on your trivial sheet mixed with anyway. So here, and there are 2 very important things. So during your 5-day jumpstart or during your 28 days reset program, you needed to drink plenty of water. I want to say plenty of at least 2 liters. At least 2 liters. And one of the key reasons is especially for the 5-day jumpstart, because your total fiber intake is pretty high. Because like I think there are about 8 gram fiber in each nutrient meal. I think about 8, not correct? Yeah. So your total fiber, and you are consuming a lot of fiber during that 5-day or during that 28 days to help your and some of the people's digestive system might not get used to the high level of fiber. So drinking plenty of water will help. Yeah. And like I said, don't starve yourself. And if you find that if you're so starving you cannot afford sleep, and feel free to eat some fresh vegetables. Here's the 28 days. Yeah. So many people say reset as an individual product, but we got this inspiration from our regional general manager Jeff Watt, because the last time, and he demonstrated that, and how could we leverage reset program as a business tool. Did anyone ever think of that? Has anyone ever you actually can use reset as a tool instead of an individual product? Yeah. If you see reset as an individual product, or you might just think, okay, I try to sell this product to someone. I personally might have benefits by taking on the reset program, but actually reset can be a very powerful social tools for you to grow your business, to grow your team. Yeah. It's like when you're going to a gym, because I used to sign up membership at a local gym, and then what's happened next? I only went there. I only went to the gym for the first 2 weeks, and I stopped going there, and then paying the weight fee or a full night membership fee, and that's that kind of lock-in contract I had to pay for 1 year, and all waste of money. Yeah, but according to some, you might heard of some studies that, and it would be so if you got a gym buddy, you go to gym together, and your attendance rate is much higher, right? So actually, so there are lots of fun if you can create a social group, a social club, and a group of people to do the reset challenge together. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. So Jeff wanted to demonstrate, to give everyone a practical example on how to do it. So for example, step 1, identify 10 individuals in your team. I'm talking about existing team members, not guests. Based on individual case, like you might identify 5. You might identify 10 existing team members in your organization, and with their willingness to participate in this reset. program. And then the second step, what they need to do is each of them. So, for example, if you could find 10 team members on board, and each of them they needed to find another 9 guests. They are not customers, sorry, not you sign an associate or preferred customer yet. There are some prospects, some guests, some of your friends, some of your schoolmates. Make sense? Yeah. And then so each team they're gonna so then they're gonna form 10 different teams. And then everyone pitching about $20. So with 10 team members, so each team they can create about a $200 bonus like a prize pool. Then what you need to do next is that everyone purchase 5-day jumpstart plus and with the free blender bottle and a 28 days transformation kit. Yeah. How much will it cost? $98 plus 280. And if you look at the volume, and if you according to Jeff's scenario, if you could identify 10 existing team members in your organization, and each of them, and find another 9 guests to join this program, so there will have 13,000 volume points created in your team. 13,000 CVP volume created in your team. So then the next step is you take the before photo and then you weigh in yourself, and then the team leaders just record on the sheet. Okay. So then after 28 days, maybe not 28, maybe it's 33 days. 5-day jumpstart, 28 days at the conclusion, and then you can just decide and what kind of price you want to offer. It could be with the highest percentage of weight loss, or it could be the actual kilos being lost. Either way, depends. And then the winner of the team, so the winner of the team, or each team members will receive $200 prize. Does that make sense? Yeah. Before and after photos. And then at the end, you ask, so you have 10 existing team members. Each of them got a 9 guests, and then you offer them. And you ask, you follow them and they like to join, so you sign an associate to do something fun like this and down the track, or if they want to be signed up as a preferred customers. And remember, so during this 5-day plus 28 days, they all have tried a NutriMeal, they all have tried the Cell Essentials, they all have tried also probiotics. Yeah, probiotics. Yeah. So according to this scenario, if 50% of your guests, how many guests we're talking about? 90, right? Yeah, I'm talking about your organization. Yeah, if you could identify 10 existing leaders and plus, and each of them get another 9 guests. So 90 guests, if 50% of these 90 guests would become either associate or preferred customers, even they only just set up 50 points on all the order. So you were add on probably over 2,250 as weighty points to your team each month. So that's one of the good outcome after running this about 1 month reset program. And so before I finish today's presentation, I did not forget, and there's some new changes to our reset program, because recently we added on the probiotics, right? Because it's not called NutriMeal bar. The USANA bar is not available, but now instead, and we put it in the probiotics. So I was doing a bit of research about what's the benefits or what's the role of probiotics in terms of weight loss. So lots of weight loss programs, and we have one of the drawback is the weight tend to bounce back after you stop doing this program, right? Like I said, there's no shortcut, there's no magic bullet in terms of weight loss. It has to be your lifetime change. You have to totally transform your lifestyle. So one of the research results actually is earlier this year and published in one of the most prestigious journals, Cell Metabolism. They were talking about the scientists actually find the the healthy back. So the bacteria in our gut, they play a big role in terms of maintaining our weight. If you're obese in the past, when you lost a certain weight, but somehow these bacteria, your existing bacteria, they're holding the memories. So they are playing some roles. So they have like a yo-yo effect. So the weight has been lost, but it's bouncing back. But with some, like here they said, with a simple dietary supplementation, sometimes can reset, or they're using reset as well. Wow. Reset the weight rebound clock. Yeah, so this according to one of the leading scientific research. I didn't get a chance, so I didn't know which bacteria strain they were testing. I'm not quite sure because I didn't get a chance to look through the full articles because I didn't pay for it. Yeah, but I would say adding probiotic into our reset program is very visionary. Yeah, actually, it's very visionary. Yeah, because I don't think many companies are doing this. Like I said, lots of commercial weight loss programs they focus a lot on things. They focus a lot on like carbs, calories. Yeah, but a healthy weight loss program is about a realistic goal and with sufficient micronutrients and with also your lifestyle change. It's not just about calorie. Yeah. Thank you so much, and that's my presentation today. And I hope you have learned something. Thank you.